Hello Bray Gang, it's your boy back at it again with another video. Now today is going to be a video that we don't normally do. This video is kind of like out of my element a little bit in a way. I mean, a lot of you guys hear a lot of my stories on my Instagram, so I figured I could tell you guys an interesting life event that happened to me some years ago. That was very interesting. So it's a kind of a wonky story, so just stick along for the ride. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Just smash that like button before we get started, you know. We're trying to, I don't know, just post a bunch of random stuff on this channel on top of the fact that I'm trying to learn German. I kind of want to show you guys other sides of my life as well. I'm working on a vlog. I think you guys will like it. And I don't know. Anyways, so this took place I want to say like 3-4 years ago. I had just moved into my first apartment. It was amazing. Like, you know, the feelings of freedom were definitely there. I was very ecstatic. I had just finished furnishing my entire place. I had got my room set up. Everything was getting decorated. Everything was finished getting decorated and stuff. And I was a little exhausted and whatnot. You know, I'm like, man, I'm kind of tired. I had a roommate that helped with the rent and stuff like that. We went half and half. Everything was great. Literally everything was perfect. Probably like the most perfect scenario you could probably imagine. Because think about it. Nobody wants to, pay the full amount of rent anywhere if they have the option to, have a roommate. I guess it depends on who you are, but that's the scene we're setting, right? So, I was, like I said, I was pretty tired. So I was chilling on my bed, right? And, I was kind of just scrolling through my phone and whatnot, on that wonderful app that we all know, Tinder. I was on Tinder. I was deep on Tinder too, man. I was, trying to swiping left, swiping right. Like I was swiping till my finger fell off pretty much. So I was doing my thing, and I realized, like, oh yeah, it was kind of hot in the house a little bit. It was a little hot. I was in Arizona at the time, so it was very hot, And I'm like, dang, like, let me turn the AC on. Obviously, makes sense, right? So I go to, I get up out of bed, go turn the AC on real quick. Kind of, it was like, I think the internal house temperature was probably like 80 degrees, which is too hot for me. If you know anything about me, I like my house at like 69 degrees minimum. So I turned that all the way down to 69 degrees. The AC was blaring and whatnot. I'm like, back on my phone, back on my bullshit, you feel me? Just like on my phone, swipe. So I'm like, over there trying to, I was gazing at some cheeks and stuff. And then, I had shorts on. I had shorts on and a t-shirt. And this is important for what happens next. So I felt something crawl, more not really crawl, but it felt like something was crawling on my leg, and I looked at it and nothing was there, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, nothing, And then I'm like, oh, and I'm not the hairiest person on the planet, but I do have hair on my legs, so I'm like, obviously it's and I guess in where the vent was placed and stuff too, it was blowing air. I guess my leg tickled a little bit, so I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, man, this is a little weird, because it happened to only be like one leg, and it happened to be the leg that was by the AC and stuff like that, the AC fan. So I'm like, man, maybe I should turn the AC down or whatever, right? But I'm like, nah, whatever. I got like a little match and stuff, and I'm like, let me just let me talk to the match I got, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, going through, getting all mushy gushy with the girl and everything. The tickling feeling in my leg stopped, and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And then it came back, and I'm like, what the heck? And this time it was closer up my leg than it was before, because the tickling feeling that I felt before was kind of towards, like, it was like probably like the bottom half of my calf. This time it was pretty much approaching my knee, like the side of my leg on my knee, And I'm like, that's really weird. So I obviously stopped what I'm doing, because it was like a nice little tickle feeling, and I looked, and would you believe it if I told you there was a huge camel spider on my leg? I shit you not. When I saw it, I said, huh! I dropped my phone and I leaped out of my bed. I leaped, because the thing is, as soon as I saw it and it saw me, it said, huh! And I'm like, oh, bro, I almost fainted. I literally almost fainted. I'm like, I cannot do this. I can't do this. I don't do well with violent creatures, and spiders can be violent. So I'm like, oh, the room is yours. So I ran out of my room, closed, locked my door. I made sure I smacked the crap out of the spider before I left the room, but I slammed the door and I'm like, I'm not going back in there. 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 And I was freaking out. Just telling the story sends chills down my spine, because the second I jumped up out of the bed, the spider like ran underneath my bed, down the sheet, and it was big. I'm not even, no exaggeration, it was this big. I have big ass hands, so to give you kind of an idea, it was about 5 inches long and maybe like 3.5 to 4 inches wide. It was a big ass spider, and I knew it was a camel spider when it hit one of these, and I'm like, I smacked it before it could bite me, obviously, and I was out the room. So the door's locked at this point. I'm panicking. So I'm like sitting in the living room on my phone. And of course, my charger happens to be in my room. My clothes are in my room. Everything is in my room. I have to go back in there. I mean, my shower is in my room. So I'm freaking out, right? I'm freaking out. So I'm like, my roommate comes home, because he was out and about all day and stuff. He comes home and he's like, bro, you look mad nervous. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, bro, like, I can't sleep in that room. Like, there is a spider this big in that room. And he's like, bro, quit being a little bitch. Like, go in there and like, like just look for it and kill it. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. So like my roommate's like, fine, whatever. So he goes in there, and then I'll close the door behind him, because I'm not trying to have that thing run around the house. He's like, come on, man. Like, it's not that. And he starts, they starts banging on the door, and I'm like, and I start freaking out, like, I'm like holding the door shut. I'm like, oh no, just kill it, please, just kill it. He's like, dude, let me out this fucking door, or I'm gonna break your window and get out. And so I'm like, oh shit, because the window in my room led to the outside. So I'm like, obviously I didn't want any damages done in the house or anything. So I opened the door, and he ran out there. He's like, dude, that thing's huge. That thing is huge. How, like, did you let it in here? I'm like, no, it was in the room. Bro. I didn't even see, like, that thing is huge. Like, the thing tried to attack him. He said, like, when he was in the room and I closed the door behind him, like, he saw it and it saw him and it tried to chase him around the room, because all I heard was like a bunch of clutter, like mess falling around, whatever. Anyways, long story short, he freaks out, I'm freaking out, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what the hell to do. So needless to say, for the next few days, I slept in the living room. I managed to kind of sneak through the spider's defenses and stuff like that to go take a shower, get my clothes, all that other stuff. But it was very scary. I literally looked for webbing everywhere. There was webbing literally everywhere in that room, actually. Every time I went in there, even to get my stuff, like the slightest little tap of a web on my body, and I shrieked like a little girl. I'm not even gonna lie. I shrieked, I'm like, crazy. I know. Now you can probably think different of me, but the story gets better, because like I said, I was talking to somebody on Tinder, and this person wanted to come over. So I'm like, all right, bet, cool. She's like, oh yeah, she was very persistent, whatever, cool. So I'm like, all right, hey, come over, here's my address, blah, blah, blah. So she comes over, and this is like a few days later. This is probably like 3-4 days later. Now, mind you, I have not slept in this room since then. I mean, I might as well burn the whole house down, but I didn't. So let's say this chick's name is let's call her Claudia for the example's sake, or for the story's sake. So Claudia comes over, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, blah, 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 just spitting game or whatever. And we're talking. We're in the living room talking. I'm like, oh, we're safe. She's like, and we're talking for a hot minute. We're talking for like maybe like a good hour. I have the TV on in the living room. We're just bullshitting and stuff. She's like, hey, so you want to show me your room? And I'm like, it's kind of messy. I don't want to go in there. She's like, oh no, like, don't tell me which one's yours. I'll guess. So she starts opening random room doors. Like, she open up my roommate's room door, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, come on, that's my room. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was home, so he's like, whoa. And I'm like, no, that's his room, bro. Like, that's not, whatever. She opens up another door. It's a laundry room. And she's like, oh, so this last door in the house must be yours. Opens it up. And I'm like, whoa, it's messy. She's like, oh, it's actually really clean. And she gets in the room, and I swear, I'm telling you, I can't make this up. She jumps on the same bed the spider crawled right underneath. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. So I'm trying to keep it together. I'm like, yeah, that's my room. It's, I thought it looked messy to me. I'm like, my heart's pounding. I don't know what to do. I'm like, dang, I should probably tell her there's a big old spider in this room, like somewhere. My room is clean. I keep everything pretty neat for the most part. But there was a bug somewhere hidden in there. So I'm like, oh God. Anyway, she's like, come here, come here. She turns off the lights, bruh. She turned off the lights. She turned off the lights, G. And I'm like, dog, I can't even see if this little creature is crawling up my leg or if it's posted up on the wall. I don't know where it is, man. I was freaking out. She turned off the lights and I started shaking. I'm like, she's like, what's wrong? You nervous? And I'm like, no, I'm not nervous. I'm fine. You know, I'm chilling. You know, I'm good. I'm doing good. Anyways, so she starts getting undressed and everything, and then I forgot about what the hell I was scared about. She got naked, bro, and I'm like, ooh, okay, cool. Like, what it do, baby? You know what I'm saying? I was in it. You know, I was in there. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my thing. I'm like, all right, cool. So we got down to business, bro. Like, I mean, all kinds of business. Like the sheets, everything. We're getting crazy in my room, in the bed, right? And the whole time in the back of my mind, I'm like, where is this little ass spider, bro? Like, and I thought I saw something crawl across the floor really quick, and so I freaked out. I'm like, oh. So here's the thing, for all my people out there that don't know how intercourse works, for my gentlemen out there that don't understand the mechanics of it, you want to last as long as possible. That's kind of a thing, right? I mean, at least make sure that both of you guys have a good time. Now, what helped me last a long time was the image of that spider in my mind. Every time I thought about it, I was almost full gummy worm, like dud. But then I would look back at her and I'm like, oh yeah, they're still going on, okay? So I was doing my thing. And then, bro, wild. I'm telling you, she was, throwing stuff on the ground. She like, the mattress damn near moved out of place. I'm like, oh shit. So I was, we were doing crazy wild things. And like I said, like, I thought I saw something move across the floor. So I'm like, all right, cool. Then it got to this one point where like I was had her on the side of the bed and stuff. We're doing our thing, and my feet are planted on the floor. And then I actually see it. Like, my nocturnal ass actually sees that little creature crawl across my foot. And while I'm doing my thing, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh God. And then she's like, oh God, what? And I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm just, I thought I stepped on something. And you're like, oh, okay, like, no big deal. I'm like, oh shit, that fucking spider. And that thing was I swear that thing, I felt like it was looking at me, bro, because it was just, I'm like, oh my God. So, I'm doing my thing, right? I can't make this up, yo. I'm doing my thing. I'm going brazy, bro. I was going so brazy, I forgot the spider even existed, right? After maybe like 5 minutes of like freaking out. So I'm getting so into it, right? I back up and I pick her up off the bed, and then I step on something and hear a crunch. A crunch, my guy. Crunch, I'm like, oh. So I'm still doing my thing, but and then she finishes whatever. I put it on the bed. I'm like, cool. And then I did it elegantly, and she pretty much turned over, almost like not immediately went to sleep, but she was just like, kind of out of whatever. And then I'm like, oh my God. And in my mind, I'm keeping it together. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm about to slide to this bathroom real quick, bruh. I cannot make this up. The spider was on the bottom of my foot, mushed up. That shit was oatmeal on my foot, bro. Oatmeal and bone, pretty much. And I'm like, I look at my foot and I'm like, oh, yep, there it is. Well, moral of the story, I wound up conquering my fear of this creature by involving myself in a very intimate setting. And maybe you guys could learn a thing or two from that. I don't know. It was kind of a random story that I decided to tell you guys. Memory of mine that I will never forget, because I remember going to the bathroom, cleaning that creature off my foot. She was kind of asking me, hey, what's wrong? You're walking kind of funny. Because I was dragging that foot on the ground so she wouldn't see it. I was like, I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Not Charlie horse, Charlie horse. You already know the vibes, whatever. And yeah, didn't really end well for me, for the spider. It did end well for me though. I thought I had a little hair on my chest when I went in the bathroom. Like, hey man, victory for you, boy. You know what I'm saying? So I realized, the spider was dead. the spider was dead. But I think the way that I stepped on it, I'm not sure if I got bit, but the bottom of my foot definitely itched. So I will assume I did get bit, probably in the midst of me stomping on that thing. It was huge, bro. I threw it in the, I took a piece of toilet paper, wiped it off, threw it in the toilet, flushed it, and I'm like, bro, that shit is nasty. And I'm pretty sure there were still little leg particles all over the carpet and stuff. Anyways, that was a gross story. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That's pretty much it. It's just a really odd situation. I find myself in a lot of odd situations. Trust me, I found myself in a lot of real odd situations. But needless to say, you know, after she left, I'm like, hey, thank you. Like, thank you. I will make sure I call you an Uber. You don't have to spend any money on anything. I got you. Cause I had a car at the time, but I wasn't really trying to like drive anybody nowhere. So I'm like, all right, cool, boom. And my roommate's like, yo, like the spider, like, is it still in the room? Like, I heard you doing your thing in there. Like, did you kill it? And I'm like, yeah, but not the way you would have expected. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of that. If you guys have any wild stories, if you want me to tell any more wild stories, I got a lot. Let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications, and I don't know, man. Make it do what it do, baby. Take care. Peace.